You started off in the clubs, right?
I started off at Hooters.
At Hooters.
I mean, no one says that, but damn, if you're damn near being a sugar baby, it's work.
How's that not work?
Yeah, it's definitely a form. It's just, and then the girls say, well, oh, I remember when I first started working. I first started working at Hooters at 19, and I remember going in and just being fascinated by the world. I've always had a pretty good understanding of most things, a lot of common sense, street smarts and stuff, but being pretty and being paid for, I knew nothing about. And so walking in at 19, I was just oh my God, this is cool. There's no science to it. There's no psychology to it. It's just, this is what you get paid for. And we're just doing it. And then I would as I got into it, more a month, 2 months, 6 months in, and I'm these girls are doing some shit. I'm there's no way he's just going to her table and all she has to do is hug him and she's walking out with $1,000 at the end of the night. Not in North Alabama. Absolutely not. No. And I'm I'm over here maybe leaving with 200. I'm I'm not doing something right. And then I started becoming friends with those girls and learning the tricks of the trade. And I'm oh, you guys are glorified. I love it. It's great. It's awesome though. It's cool.
And just, once again, shows how dumb dudes are.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, work, it's part of capitalism. It makes the world go around, It's
100%. But the idea of oh, I'm gonna spend $1,000 and tip out my waitress, or I'm gonna actually go get a full service, same money.
I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe some people have this weird connection with food and titties. I don't know.
Well, it's socially acceptable is
yeah.
where it's at.
Yeah.
Because it's if we had a red light district like Amsterdam or something, people could just go knock on a window. Nobody's looking down on going to Amsterdam and be why? It's because it's just so not socially acceptable to do that.
Yeah. It's just crazy that so many American cultures really realize, but for some reason work is deemed, I guess, taboo. It's weird because we is everything. But when someone's oh, people really like titties that much? That's all I got to do? And then they try to capitalize off of it. Then we're no, you're a terrible person. What?
Yeah, but the South has some of the most bumping strip clubs, but they're the first ones to be no.
Oh my, I hated South. Oh yeah, so after Hooters, I then went, and I was always a bad stripper. I was terrible. I was a good dancer, a physical dancer, amazing. Personality, I think what the hardest thing was for me in the strip club was that I had to inflate men's egos. And I wasn't good at that because my personality is very sometimes very stoic and I'm almost too brutally honest, whatever. And I'm just very straightforward and I don't know how to kiss ass. I don't know how to suck up to it literally doesn't make sense. And I could tell you how to, but I don't know how to execute it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
I totally get it. Especially it's some dude who's being rude, treating you less than a person.
Yeah.
And being because I got money, you got to make me feel
yeah.
I'm
ugh, that's icky. I'm oh, this doesn't feel right. So I was always the girl that was, I was a great dancer and I would make a lot of money on stage, but all my, I guess, fellow coworkers would see me with the guy who I'd be and they're usually not even the old guy. It's the kind of maybe late 20s, early 30s, 40s, who wasn't spending money. He was literally just sitting at the bar. I would get stuck talking to those guys all night. And the girls would be what are you doing? You need to go out and make money. You're here to work. And I was I would just forget because I'd be lost in conversation. And it's not I had romantic inclinations to these men. I just like talking. That's literally what I like to do.
There's nothing wrong with that. I know you're there to make your bank. At the end of the day, it's oh my God, you can have a platonic conversation with another human. Yeah. Oh my God.
It was cool. I never really had a lot of friends. So when I went to work, I don't know, I guess I forgot. I'm supposed to make money. You don't make an hourly wage and you have to actually hustle each person. It was crazy. And it just never really registered until years after. I was that's why I was a bad stripper. That's why I didn't make a lot of money. Yeah.
You ever have any nights where you end up at a loss after your stage fee and everything?
Probably very. I mean, it was Alabama, first of all, so very often that happened. But I was I don't know, I was too half the time to remember. Yeah. But that happened a lot because, I don't know, something about Alabama is just you don't make a lot of money there. You cannot, customer service sucks. You don't make a lot of money there unless you're a doctor, an engineer or something like that. But no.
Well, there's not a lot of money going around.
Exactly. It's just, it's weird. Because I think where I moved to, Birmingham, was the home of one of the best, what's it called? Healthcare schools. So nurses, doctors go to UAB, which is where I went. And so a lot of people had money, and they would go, but I don't know, there's very few rich people, I guess. So there's not a lot of ballers. They're like in Atlanta or Nashville or Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, up in Atlanta in the Pink Pony making it rain.
Atlanta? There's a Pink Pony in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah.
Because I worked at the Pony in Huntsville.
Yeah, no, like the original Pony's in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So I remember there was like the Pink Pony, and then there was like the Pony.
Yeah, the original Pink Pony is like Atlanta.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Yeah. I never travel danced either. Never did that.
It's an interesting gig.
Yeah, it always seemed fun. It seemed terrifying because I never made like close girlfriends in the industry, like maybe ever. But definitely when I was stripping, I never made close relationships because I didn't trust a lot of them. Because I mean, it's not the fact like, oh, they're not to be trusted, but they just exhibited behaviors to not be trusted. Like a lot of us were on, and we were like alcoholics, and they had baby daddy issues, and it's like, y'all are messy. Like I was messy by myself, but like I didn't involve anyone in my mess. A lot of the women would like the drama. And I would just like stick to myself. So like travel dancing seemed intimidating to me. Like, no. What the? No.
Especially when you're doing like feature work.
Oh, yeah.
You basically are going into hostile territory at times because like a lot of the house girls are like, what the just come and take my money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember oh my God, that got stuck in my throat. When I was working at the Pony, Danny Daniels came and feature danced. And she was so hot in person because I used to watch her stuff like growing up. She was like my favorite lesbian star. She still is. Hi. She definitely is. And she came and feature danced, and I remember like I touched her, and I was like, I felt like how a man would feel if he met his favorite star and like touched her, like just it was great.
Why didn't you shoot your shot?
I was 20 years old.
So
I had no confidence at that age. To me in my head, I was just a baby star, and she was like this world renowned star. It's really weird how the tables have turned.
she should have just shot your shot.
And is she married? Has she been married for a minute?
Yeah. Married people don't always
homewrecker? I'm not a homewrecker.
I'm not saying you should homewreck, but you don't know what the rules of her relationship are.
Oh yeah.
Maybe she's allowed to get some strange on the road.
Probably, 100%.